Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
So glad to have Scott again. Very glad. So, Scott, do you think that some of these school massacres, Virginia Tech, Columbine, Red Lake, Minnesota, Sandy Hook, Parkland, Florida, Roseburg, Oregon, that was a scare for me because my middle son was going to University of Oregon. I got real scared because I didn't know where the shooting was. And then Uvalde could have been thwarted or at least diminished by trained teachers carrying pistols in school?
I do. Gun-free zones attract people with guns, unfortunately.
It's like a magnet.
It is, and that's
They don't care.
That's a scary thing, And I know in some of our school districts here, we might have one or two special resources officers on campus, if not for the whole district, and that is just understaffed, in my opinion. I think there should be at least one at every school. And yeah, if a teacher feels comfortable, let him
And
carry.
is trained.
Exactly. Let him carry. That I would feel more comfortable sending my kid to a school knowing that their teacher was armed and ready to respond to a
threat. Deadly threat.
A deadly threat, exactly.
If one of every 10 teachers or admins, doesn't matter if it's an admin or teacher, carried pistols, would these have been stopped or lessened? I think so.
Absolutely.
1 out of 10, so you might have 3 or 4 in a school. 3 or 4 in a school ready to respond if something happens.
From what I can tell, most of these people that have been involved in these school incidents they're like bullies, and bullies don't react well to
been bullied,
being attacked,
or they're bullies.
No, they're bullies.
Okay,
and maybe they have been bullied, but this is the way they're lashing out. But normally in a bully situation, I think, is when you're confronted or you're attacked, you usually back down. And in this particular case, because what happens in a lot of these, they've shot themselves.
Yeah.
They've ended their life on campus,
yeah.
or
Columbine, they did that.
As soon as the law enforcement shows up, they lay down their guns and give up. So yeah, if a teacher were to draw down on a student or somebody that infiltrated the school that had a gun, I think that would be a big deterrent. And again, what do they tell you when you're military? I've had some law enforcement training when they tell you if you're going to draw your gun, you better be ready to use it, right?
Yeah.
You're not drawing it just to scare somebody. You're drawing it to kill. So,
yeah.
But anyway, it's. I believe that would be a good way to go.
So in a 68-28 vote, the Tennessee House of Representatives passed SB 1325, allowing trained teachers and other school staff to carry firearms into schools. That bill is now heading to the governor's desk, where it's expected to be signed into law. Teachers who wish to be armed need to have permission from their principal and the superintendent. It also requires training in school policing, a background check, and a psychological evaluation. Moments after the House passed the bill, protesters bum rushed the gallery and started to chant, "Blood on your hands! Blood on your hands!" For reals? The only blood on their hands would be of an assassin trying to kill students, right? Just imagine if magically you could take every weapon away from law-abiding citizens, or every weapon at all. Criminals are still going to find ways to get firearms.
Absolutely.
And they're still going to use them. They're targeting and assassinating cops. The cops are armed.
I believe a very small amount of these people that use guns as their weapon of choice have them legally. Either they took them from their parents.
Small.
Very small amount, right? Yeah. So, yeah, most of these guys are getting these guns black market. They're manufacturing themselves
or stolen from a house.
Yeah. So it's I don't have time for these kind of people that yell this stuff, and they're lame.
Blood on your hands. Really allowing teachers to stop a massacre. That's blood on their hands of a criminal's blood. This bill comes a year after a transgender youth killed 3 children and 3 adults at the Covenant School in Nashville. You remember that? It was all over the news.
Yep.
And she or he had a manifesto, and it was confiscated seized by the police, and wasn't allowed to be made public.
Right.
Somehow it made its way public. Remember the red hat was on backwards, right? methodically going through the school. At any time, a trained teacher could have shot her or him dead and ended the senseless massacre. At any time. What if one of those adults that were killed had a gun and just fired back?
Right.
Just firing back would have stopped it.
Could have.
Dems don't want this. They want to disarm law-abiding citizens while criminals roam free using firearms. It's indefensible. It's not the gun. It's the person that shoots the gun.
Exactly.
That pulls the trigger.
Exactly.
Okay, so I saw a news article yesterday of a high school student. We were talking about this, slapping a teacher silly in her own classroom, bragging, "Ain't no help coming for you," all while students laughed out loud. This happened in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Do you think this would have happened if the teacher was openly carrying a pistol? Had a pistol right here?
Well,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's kind of a shadowy deal there, I think. But this is definitely a topic that needs to come up more often because kids are feeling really, really emboldened, yeah,
Brazen?
to just be able to do this to either teachers or coaches or. I was actually talking to my sister the other day. She works at elementary school, and she was kind of involved in breaking up a fight with another teacher. And I told her, I said, "That's scary stuff, you know. I mean, you never know what you're gonna come up against, but." For that to happen, and I'd like to find out if there's any repercussion for this kid.
Yeah. He was
Suspended or expelled?
no, he
Charged with
was
assault?
charged. Yeah,
Well,
charged. Yeah.
Good for them for doing that.
So setting aside carrying a pistol and that happens, should teachers carry non-lethal tasers for just such an occurrence? For just, that's up close
Yeah.
and personal.
Pepper spray, bear spray.
Well, that too. The slapping was up close and personal. So you just pull out that pepper spray or that taser.
Yeah, it was right at her desk, right? Not being.
She's sitting
overly
down and the
aggressive
kid's
or
like
anything.
looming over her. I think that shooting the child would have been overboard. Maybe now that teacher sues the school district, and it makes districts think twice about alternatives for keeping staff and students safe.
Sad that it has to come to this, though. They should make it right up front known to parents and to kids. If you do this kind of stuff, we're going to throw the book at you. We're going to take it.
I don't think like.
Some kids don't think.
Well, now that
don't care.
Michigan, those two parents, Michigan shooting, they were convicted for criminal negligence.
Right.
That
Providing their son a gun, right?
But I don't think it's a deterrence because, the kid was in the moment. Maybe something triggered him and he just got up and slapped. Sometimes they don't think about it and it just happens. But if you train a teacher in Taekwondo, that's not going to help against a gunfight because you have to get up close and personal.
Yeah.
I think responsible firearms training is the answer. Taking guns away is not the answer. The criminals are always going to have guns. They're always going to come up with something.
Yeah, the problem is finding teachers that are going to be willing to get trained and carry. That's going to be
I think
that's
you'd be
gonna
able
be
to
an
find
issue.
3 or 4 out of one school.
yeah.
Where there's like
Is
30
that even
teachers.
going to be enough? Kids are
More
kids
than
are
one.
emboldened. They're out of control. A lot of these kids are just out of control.
At least it's. You said that school resource officers, not every school, right?
In some districts, yeah, they don't have it.
So at least if one had a gun, one could rush to the scene and.
I know in a couple of our districts up here, Sperria and Apple Valley, they both have their own police departments, which is scary thinking about that anyway. But they do, and I'm not real sure. Maybe we can do some research on that to find out what their incident rate is, or maybe it's been reduced since they've done that. So, but Apple Valley set up, and Asperia both have had their own police departments for quite a while. So
Yeah, I think the county sheriffs, they help out too.
that's the one that Victor Valley High School hires. They hire from the county. So, but
all right,
it's
folks.
expensive.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. This is a problem. I don't think disarming is the answer. Maybe we can come to the middle to find out an answer.
Do you feel safe sending your kids to school?
That's the bottom line.
It is,
Right.
yeah.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
day. Have a good day. Thank you.